From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Friday, June the 23rd, 2017. Israel is calling on the United Nations to investigate outposts found along Israel's border with Lebanon, posing as under the guise of an agricultural organization, but actually belonging to terror group Hezbollah. Israel's ambassador to the UN, Dani Danon, wrote a letter to the UN Security Council about the observation posts yesterday that are flying a flag of a non-governmental organization called Green Without Borders, using the posts as a way to observe Israeli activities across the border. Danon demanded that the observation posts be taken down by Lebanon immediately. IDF Intelligence Chief Major General Herzl Halevi released video and photographs yesterday of the disguised posts and told the Herzliya conference this week that Hezbollah blatantly violates UN Security Council Resolution 1701. He said, "We call on UNIFIL, which is the UN's interim force in Lebanon, to undertake its responsibilities not only in keeping the peace, but in removing the possibility of war." U.S. Special Representative to International Negotiations Jason Greenblatt released a statement last night upon his recent return to the U.S. from Israel. Greenblatt was in Israel this week, joining White House Special Advisor Jared Kushner and U.S. Ambassador to Israel David Friedman for meetings in Jerusalem with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and meetings with Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas in Ramallah. Greenblatt also met with the parents of the two IDF soldiers, Hadar Golden and Oron Shaul, who were killed during Operation Protective Edge in Gaza in 2014, and whose remains are being held by terror group Hamas in Gaza. Greenblatt said he expressed his continued sympathy to the bereaved parents. The statement read, "Mr. Greenblatt remains outraged at Hamas's inhumane refusal to return Hadar and Oron and supports the families as they continue to seek their son's return." And Prime Minister Netanyahu announced new security measures yesterday to try and help prevent more terror attacks at the Damascus gate in Jerusalem. There have been a number of deadly attacks at the gate, which is one of the entrances to Jerusalem's Old City, including most recently the stabbing death of Israeli border policewoman Hadass Malka just a week ago. Netanyahu said the gate has become a symbol of Palestinian terror. The upgrade in security measures are said to include more cameras, the construction of watchtowers and other advanced technologies, and heightened security checks to help keep it safe. B'nai B'rith Canada is trying to stop an American Holocaust denier from speaking in Toronto. Kevin Barrett, who is known for denying the murder of 6 million Jews and for making outrageous accusations, including calling Israel a branch of al-Qaeda, is scheduled to speak at the city's annual Al-Quds Day rally tomorrow, Saturday. B'nai B'rith Canada is calling on Canada's Border Services Agency to keep Barrett out of the country. CEO Michael Mostyn said Toronto police must not allow Queen's Park, our provincial legislature, to become a platform for Holocaust denial and anti-Semitism. And the CBSA must not allow Kevin Barrett into our country. Enough is enough. An online petition launched by the group to bar Barrett from Canada has about 2,000 signatures to date. A bipartisan bill was introduced in the U.S. House of Representatives yesterday, named for Holocaust survivor, Nobel laureate, and author Elie Wiesel. The Elie Wiesel Genocide and Atrocities Prevention Act of 2017 was spearheaded by Democratic Representative Joe Crowley of New York and Republican Ann Wagner of Missouri. It seeks to prevent genocides and other crimes as a matter of national security interest. A Jewish rural cemetery in North Dakota has been recognized by the National Register of Historic Places. The Bismarck Tribune reported yesterday that the application for the Sons of Jacob Cemetery in Garski was approved by the register as well as by the National Park Service. It is the oldest Jewish cemetery in the state and served about 100 Jewish settlers who came to the area from Eastern Europe and worked as farmers from about 1883 to 1925. Descendants of these Jewish homesteaders submitted the application as a way to preserve the memory of their relatives and their history. Meanwhile, a historic synagogue in New York City is facing either partial or total demolition. New York One reported yesterday that a local community board approved a proposal to tear down the Beit HaMidrash HaGadol synagogue on Norfolk Street on Manhattan's Lower East Side. If you recall, the synagogue, which is a city landmark, was severely damaged by arson last month. New York One said the committee is asking the synagogue's owners to determine whether parts of the building can be preserved, eyeing either a partial or total demolition of the structure. They will vote on the proposal next week. And taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Friday, June the 23rd. Live Shabbat services are coming up at 6 o'clock from New York City's Central Synagogue, followed by a concert with Israeli singer Ron Eliran. At 8, Rabbi Harold Kushner and Rabbi Rachel Cowan talk about living well and aging well from the 92nd Street Y. At 9, it's the film The Forgotten Refugees. At 10, actor Michael Douglas speaks about Jewish hospitality. And at 10:30, it's Musica with Marina Blumen. And coming up right after this newscast tonight at 5:30, a look at this week's Torah portion with Rabbi Shlomo Riskin. And that's the JBS News Update for Friday, June the 23rd, 2017. I'm Teisha Bader. Shabbat Shalom.